Dr. Grind, Godfather, HR3, come to the studio, please. It's time to go live.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nation.
Broadcasting from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, this is TGD Today. And now please welcome Hero the Third,
HR3,
Al Cloyd,
Dr. Grind,
George Honeycutt, the Godfather.
TGD Today, ongoing programming here, and we've got Pro Golf Talk Live with Al Cloyd, HR3, Hero the Third, and, of course, the Godfather. A lot going on, guys. This is kind of like the last hurrah for at least the LPGA and for the European Tour before the big holiday break. So this is it, dude. We're down to the end. The women, Stacey Lewis. Ooh. MB Park. Shen Shan Fang.
I'm betting on her.
You're betting on Shen Shan?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Let me write this down. Let's see. Full of crap. Shen Shan Fang. Okay. Al, who you want?
Park.
NB Park. That's a good choice. I like that one. I'm going with Stacey. I'll have to stay with Stacey. I don't think she's got it. I think MV is going to take it. But again, there's 9 ladies that are kind of in the hunt. They're mathematically within the capability of jumping up there and taking the CME Globe.
Well, after the way you talked on Monday about Shen Shen, I was like, I went and looked at it. So, you know what? I think he's right. This girl, a good week, and she's right up in.
I agree.
She's playing some really good golf.
Yeah. But see, you took my pick, so I just.
Well, you shouldn't ever throw it out there before you make your pick.
I'm just being nice, dude. You respect your elders, and so I'm just being nice.
Why should I respect you?
I was respecting you. You don't have to throw it back. And baby Al over here,
Oh boy,
My boys.
I got pimples as old as him.
Oh Lord, I ain't touching that one.
Yeah. So it really boils down to, of course, they're down at Tiburon, which is a Greg Norman designed golf course, Naples, Florida. This golf course has been used for a couple of events in the past, a couple of silly season events, if you want to call them that. And but for the women, they're going to be dealing with some decent temperatures. It's going to be in the 70s, low 80s, but they've got some wind to contend with, especially these first couple of days. And we're feeling it here on the East Coast.
Definitely.
But they're on the west coast of Florida. But what's going to end up happening, guys, is it's going to boil down to, I think, your straighter hitter, and I'm going to pull up a name here and throw it out for our listeners and our viewers here on TGD TV and TGD Radio. One lady, and I'll refer to her as a lady. She's not yet a lady. A little girl, Lydia Ko. Keep an eye on Lydia Ko. She throws nothing but darts. She never misses her target. She's not the longest in the world. She's not the best putter in the world, but she just lines up. She hits it down the middle. For 16, 17 years old, just moving into that age group, it's crazy to talk about that. But, I think
he didn't have his lithium today, did he?
No. No.
Dude, crack kills.
I know.
It's a nice
Especially
gesture,
when you take it as a suppository.
but it's a nice gesture.
Yeah.
This little girl can play. She's done some great things. I'm not knocking her one bit.
I say
but no,
you keep an eye on Lydia Ko.
Not a chance. She's tired end of the year. She's played a bunch. No, she's fried.
Okay. All right.
That would be my own personal belief if I was, doing a fantasy thing or betting on something. I just think the girl, she's had one heck of a year. She's proven, know what, she's good enough to be there.
Okay.
I just think it's one of those things. She's
I'll tell you what,
Santa
I'm going
Claus
to go
come.
ahead.
She still believes in him, for crying out loud.
Well, and I do too. So what the hell's wrong with that? Moving on.
Delusional, but that's
I'm
fine.
going to stick with Lydia.
Okay.
For one thing, there is no rough at Tiburon. Zero rough. You have fairway, you have a cart path, and then you've got jungle.
Yeah.
Jungle. We're talking, you don't just walk into it, find your ball, and punch it out of the pine trees. There are no pine trees. There's briar patches that you've never seen before.
Well, just a lot like the golf course in Mexico last week.
Yeah, well, that golf course in Mexico had rough, and they cleaned out a lot of areas around some of the holes. The farther par fours and the par fives, giving these guys the capability to spray it a little bit. Tiburon's not like that. It's down the middle, down the middle, down the middle. So you're going to need to watch for MB Park is a great person that's going to be there, but she can spray her driver a little bit. That could get her in trouble. Lydia Ko is not going to spray that driver. She's going to be down the middle. She'll hit 14 fairways in regulation. She'll hit 18 greens in regulation. And if her putter just stays
Flat
normal,
stick, yep.
if her putter stays just average, like she's an average putter, then watch her. So I've made my argument. I'll shut up.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Now,
Well done.
going on is the DP World Tour Championship over in Dubai. Again, a golf course that is currently airing in re-air right now on the Golf Channel. We're seeing it on the monitor as we speak. This, of course, was broadcasted live this morning beginning at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which the Godfather was up to see the first shots. So, yes, Al, I know. See?
That's about going.
You're just
that's
going to
about
bed.
Go to bed.
That's
just
going
what
to
I was
bed
thinking,
time
yeah.
for you. And the Godfather's up making his notes. So that's sad, isn't it? We see one Rory McIlroy and his friends, Shane Lowry, they come out and just say, okay, guys, for Shane, bless his heart, he's on the other side of the golf course. But he's sitting there going, wow, he's number one for a reason. Rory just goes out, and in the first 6 holes, he's 4 under par.
And I mean, I hadn't played golf in a month.
I know.
You know, I mean, the guy's just.
And he's got relatively new clubs
Yeah.
in his bag, which is, I think, saying a lot for he's playing with, of course, the new Nike Vapors, not Vipers.
Vapors.
I stand corrected. But like Ian Poulter with the new 915s, we're seeing new technologies, Al, really jump up and prove themselves right out of the gate.
Oh yeah.
We've seen the new Callaway Alpha 815s, the double diamonds. I've seen it in the shop. It's just phenomenal driver. Phenomenal. It takes spin literally out of your golf swing.
Yep.
It's one of those clubs that you hit it and you look at your spin rates, which adds distance, less spin, more distance. And I mean, just for me, for example, with me, I create 6,000 RPMs with a driver, but I'm down at 2,400 RPMs
Which is
with the
pretty much
Big
optimal.
Bertha Alpha.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal that just that technology, I didn't change my swing. I can't change my swing. You can't carve dead wood. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Okay? Am I right?
Yeah.
So the technologies today, and these guys are just taking great advantage of. Ian Poulter last week averaged 22 yards per drive longer than he did 2 weeks before that with the previous driver that he was using. Yeah. And I won't throw a manufacturer out.
Exactly.
But he changed manufacturers, he changed equipment, and he picked up 22 yards on average on his drives.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
That's technology, dude.
I tell you,
That's not swing in 2 weeks.
No.
That's technology. So we're seeing it. We're seeing it across the board now with the women, with the men, and it's just only exciting as to what more and more and more and more is going to be coming out.
Oh, it is. It is. When NASA scaled down, a lot of the guys in that field went over to the golf industry in design. So that's where your carbon fibers and all these other materials started coming from.
Yeah.
Well, now they've had time. They've been in the industry now for, a good 5
Well, we're
10
seeing
years.
the rewards right now
Yep.
of all of our research and technologies from the 50s, 60s, and 70s from the alien ships that we've captured.
That's it.
And they come from Area 51, and now we're seeing it in the golf clubs.
That's it. That's
so,
it. Roswell.
we have these new, metals and alloys and all that, literally little
Crashed.
green men were, using years ago, and we've now got it. So
That's it. That's
I'm
it.
excited.
Me too.
I can't wait for the little green men to bring us back some more stuff, and we can get even better.
That's it.
Be nice.
You know, it'll get to a point, Hugh, where, you know, we just set the club behind the ball and it just hits it automatically. We don't even have to swing.
Well, they made the one with the gun thing.
Yeah,
in
that's
there,
what I was
you
just
know?
fixing to
Yeah,
put
I
it down.
saw that crap.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to pro golf talk.
Did that one time.
I did it too.
Again, as we mentioned, Shane Lowry's at -6. Rory McIlroy's at -6. They are leading this event over in Dubai. And, folks, you got to check this out. It's amazing what kind of a oasis they have built out in the middle of a freaking desert. I would hold you to it hard with a lot of money if you were new to the game, if you didn't know anything about golf, and I took you there in a blindfold and then pulled the blindfold off, and I asked, where were you? You could be in Wisconsin, you could be in Texas, you could be in North Carolina, you could be in Europe, you could be in Argentina, you could be in Malaysia. It's just amazing what they have built there in the middle of this desert, and it's so much fun to watch. But Richie Ramsey finishes at 5 under for the day. Thorborn Olsen's at 5 under. They are tied for third. Tied fifth is Emiliano and Grillo. He's at 4 under. Henrik Stenson at 4 under. And Henrik Stenson hit a shot today, guys, on 18. You have got to check out the replay and the highlight of this shot. He hits an approach shot, of course, on 18. Pin is back left. He takes it, and the ball hits about 4 yards left of the green surface off of a back left hump. It just hits this mound. And if it goes left off the hump, it's in water. It's in a creek. The ball hits right, checks up, comes back, and spins to 4 inches from the cup. And I'm sitting here going, dude, you just pull hooked it 11 yards left of your target line. And he gets right spin from a left hook spin. He gets right kick back and suck back. And I'm sitting here going, God, these guys are good.
It's called karma.
Is it? Was that this it?
Yeah.
I mean, but you
Sometimes
just,
it's better to be lucky than good.
oh,
That's
hell
what I
yeah.
say.
Yeah, I'll
because
take that
when
any
he,
day.
when he hit it, I thought he was going to, do the samurai with the shaft. I thought he was just going to impale himself because he's going, damn, you could just tell he kind of nudged the right hand at impact.
Yep.
But boy, I look up there and they show the shot hitting, and then I'm sitting here going, look at this shit. Look at this. And it just kept coming and coming, and then it picked up speed, and I'm going, oh, crap, this is going in the hole. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A pull hook, and it almost goes in. He taps in, of course, to go to 5 under par. Yeah. So great day for Henrik Stenson. Good start. Ross Fisher's at 3 under. Tommy Fleetwood's at 3 under. Louis Oosthuizen. Good to see Louis back in the fold. He's tied for 7th with Eduardo Molinari. Again, Eduardo's just playing his game, dude. Just goes out there and dinks and dunks.
Week. It's unbelievable.
Both him and his brother.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm saying. They're just good, solid golfers. I mean, they're good players.
Yep.
So, again, this is their tour championship, and it's always a lot of fun to watch. Of course, they are going for the quote-unquote the big prize at the end of the season, which is their quote-unquote tour championship, like our FedEx Cup. And Rory McIlroy's already wrapped it up.
Right.
Henrik Stenson can even win this event, but he only gets 1.6 million points, and Rory's got a 2.4 million lead. So, and that's based off of dollars. So, again, nobody can catch him. So he's already won it. But I think for Rory, again, he's number one in the world. He's going to continue to maintain to prove he's number one in the world. And, it's just going to it's a statement-making process for him.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is he's already got this thing won. They're playing this tournament. He goes out and shoots Phillips 66, which is a great opening round. And the simple fact is, now he's got no pressure on him from all the other stuff he's been dealing with. So I think this is kind of a relief to get back and play golf, and he's actually enjoying himself. I mean, he actually looks like he's having fun out there playing.
Yeah, agreed. It's agreed that he hasn't had to participate in the upcoming they have the 4 events leading into Dubai, and that's so everybody can kind of catch up in the points standings so they can get to that race for Dubai, because you only have, is it 60 players? Mm-hmm. You only have 60 players invited. Of course, there's no cuts, so you get a check. But Rory had such an insurmountable lead, he didn't have to play. And of course,
Yeah.
he was using the excuse, well, I got this lawsuit going on with my ex-management company and this, that, and the other. So, again, a statement-making exercise for him, I believe. Really do. There's no doubt about it, guys. He's number one in the world. No doubt about it. I don't care if Tiger was to come back next week, which he's planning on coming back December the 12th, I think it is, the second week of December for his event. But, again, it wouldn't surprise me if Rory didn't just sign up for that event at the last minute just to go out and kick his ass. So,
Did you also see his quote about golf instructors?
who's
Tigers.
No, I did not.
Put a quote out there. He said, the problem that I've got right now, because he's teaching himself and doing all this stuff, is the fact that, golf instructors, they may know the golf swing, but they don't know how it works under pressure
Interesting.
on the golf course. And
Well, he's making the statement because they haven't been out there.
nobody's played. These guys have been, Haney and him both are instructors, and Haney and Foley, and neither one of them can, break an egg, but yet they teach, and they're these geniuses. He had Butch. Butch played. Butch knew what he was doing. And I think he's hit the nail on the head. It's about finding an instructor that has played golf for a living and knows what it's like to get nervous and to have and to choke and to know what's going on when you get to the 18th tee and you're like, oh my God, I got to make par here or birdie to win. And I think that's a pretty good argument.
Oh, definitely.
Well, it is a good argument. I mean, you've even made the comment, it's, we've talked about this several times. You go look for an instructor, you go look for a teacher. And we ran into this with the young snot-nosed kid at Possum Trot.
Oh, yeah,
He was out at bars, selling himself off as a PGA professional and wanting to give lessons.
Oh, yeah.
$75 an hour or whatever.
Yep.
And, you really need to find those individuals like yourself that have tour experience, that have been there under the heat of the guns, that know what the heck they're talking about.
Yep.
And,
And it's not necessarily not just knowing what you're talking about, but how to implement it into situations.
right.
Whether
Whether it be your club championship, whether it be your MGA championship, whether it be just the going out with the boys on Saturday and being able to pull the putter back or pull the trigger off on a club, and you're playing with $2 Nassau.
Exactly. But, I mean, it's not saying that these guys don't know the physics and and the basis of the golf swing as far as instruction goes, but how do you implement it when the heat's on? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When that bell goes ding, ding, you better come out that corner ready to fight and know what you're trying to do.
Right.
And these guys don't know what to tell them.
Right.
I mean, and that's the issue.
You think that's why Duvall he had his father as a coach. Am I correct on that?
He had his father, and then he had Puggy Blackman, who was his coach at Georgia Tech, his golf coach. And head golf coach that helped him a bunch, and Puggy knew a little bit about it. And But, it's just a matter of how do you help these guys do things?
Right.
They get in a swing. How do you walk them through it and get them through the rough part of it and still be able to go out and perform?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And for him to come out and say that, after the whole Dan Jenkins thing, which, I think Dan was just trying to make a spoof, but it hit Tiger wrong and everybody goes nuts.
Yep.
So to change the whole thing from Tiger, he came out and he said, this is why I don't have an instructor right now.
Right.
So I just thought that was interesting.
Well, actually, Noda's been down working with him in Florida for the last 3 weeks. So he's asked his good friend, Noda Begay, to come in and kind of look at alignments and things like this. So, and Noda's been on the tour. I mean, Noda knows what's going on.
Noda's a good dude.
So he's been kind of reaching into his inner circle versus reaching out.
Right.
And bringing in, another whoever.
Right.
Because whoever he does decide to identify as someone that he's working with, their marquee goes up exponentially.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been promoting for months now here on the air that he just needs to go to Hugh and, identify Hugh as his next swing teacher and
definitely
move on from there.
Yep.
So, and I think Hugh could do a lot of work for him. I think Hugh could
be
do
a great combination.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, John McGinnis mentioned the same thing at the World Am we were talking, but it was just, it's such a difficult situation to get into something like that, and it would be something. Yes, it would be life changing for me, but it would also, I feel like I could help him. It's just a matter of, do I want to get involved in that circus?
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. But I think also Tiger would be at that level and that point that it would be such a guarded relationship. Mm-hmm. That, he, out of respect for you and especially out of protection of him, he would not allow it to get to be a circus. And much like right now, the Dan Jenkins thing, that was derived and generated by Dan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He didn't sit down with an interview with Tiger.
No.
So, and Tiger came out and penned a response to it, saying, well, people can live in their own little fantasy world and say and do what they want to. It's got no effect on me. So, I think Tiger, days of old, if he just got back to that playing mentality of 10 years, 12 years ago, early 2000s, maybe his body can't do it, but the mentality he can.
Mentally he can. I think if he's, like we've talked about, if he'll just adapt to what his body's willing to give him and is capable of doing, I think, these guys right here are chasing Tiger Woods. Because the guy on the golf course, as far as game plan, working his golf ball around a golf course and doing things, is an absolute genius.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I got the opportunity to watch him at Augusta during the practice with his wedges. And I'm telling you what, I mean, it's just phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many shots he could pull from one wedge.
Yep.
He could take a 50. I'm pretty sure it's probably a 56.
But we saw the same stuff from Seve Ballesteros. And we saw the same stuff from many other players that separated themselves with either the putter or the wedge. That's how they established themselves into the game of golf. That's how they built their career in the game of golf. Tiger was everything.
Oh, yeah.
He brought length. He changed the dynamics of the game. In the past, the greatest to ever live, it was arguable. Jack, Arnie, Gary Player, Ben Hogan, Sam Snead, whoever you seem to
Bobby Jones.
Support that day.
Yeah.
Now, Tiger was one of those. I mean, if you had a Mount Rushmore of golf, Tiger's image would be up there because he forever changed the game. No doubt about it.
No doubt about that.
And he's the new, quote unquote, although he hasn't beaten Jack's major record, he's the new benchmark. He's the modern day playing benchmark. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. I agree. 100%.
I mean, Rory has 4 majors championships under his belt. Tiger's got 14.
Yep.
Okay. Now, are we now going to gauge Rory if he doesn't win 14? Are we going to say he wasn't good? He wasn't a time changer? He wasn't a game changer? He wasn't a history changer? Rory just happens to be the number 1 player in the world. Last year, who were we talking about?
I mean,
Henrik Stenson.
I mean, this could change year after year after year. You're right. Tiger has been the stalwart that's been there throughout the years.
For 15 years, we didn't talk about this. Every year, Tiger.
Is he going to do it? Is he going to win them? Is he going to?
No, but he was winning Player of the Year. Yeah. Player of the Year. He won the money titles. He won the majors, at least one in a given year. He won, we saw the year that he had, 12 wins, and we saw 5 events in a row, and we saw a winning percentage on the tour.
The Grand Slam.
35% of he won. If he signed up for 3 events, he won 1 of 3. Mm-hmm. That ratio is unfreaking heard of.
It is.
I think he had an intimidation factor that when he first came out, where it was like there was Tiger Woods and then the rest of the field. There was that much of a separation. It's almost like
that. I was part of the rest.
Yeah,
right. But guys, look, the difference from Tiger to say and I'm going to pick on it, like a Michelle Wie. Okay, Tiger went out and proved that. He built that marquee. He built that persona.
He earned it. Yeah.
Because Tiger went out and did his amateur thing. He didn't jump school early.
Nope.
He didn't jump ship early. He went out and won his three U.S. amateurs. And then he went and did his full stint at Stanford. He graduated, played college golf, and then he went on the tour. Okay?
Hello, world.
And he said, all right, now I'm just going to go out and play my game. And that was his father. You know, he had the Butch Harmons, he had the Hank Haneys, he had the instructors back then that now he states, well, they didn't have any tour experience, or they don't have any playing experience, or they don't have the pressure experience. Okay, but that was Tiger making his own history.
Yep.
Just like Jack did.
Yep.
Just like Gary Player did. Mr. Player came from nowhere. And literally, you know, I think if you put Mr. Player in the Hall of Fame, which he is, but you put a picture of an airplane right beside him, because he made the game international.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
Oh yeah.
And he'll talk
And you
about
put
that
his
too.
name and you put his face up on that Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You put his up there because he was basically a
Go-getter.
golf changer. He was a time changer. He was a game changer.
Yep.
Mr. Palmer, he was a changer when it came to the spectator.
Oh, big time. Arnold's Army.
He was
Exactly.
a normal guy. He was your normal average guy that could play golf, and he included the average guy in the
But
game
the
of golf.
50s and 60s,
Yep.
Yeah.
that's what was needed. The tour had to
Blue
have it.
collar.
Otherwise,
Yep.
it would have never taken off. It would have never stayed existing.
Mm-hmm.
It would have died.
Yep.
Am I
we owe
not
a
right?
lot to
I
him.
don't know if it had died, but you're right. He was a game changer.
Yep.
He changed
But
the
dude, I mean,
popularity
you
of
could
it.
still be right now today without the Arnold Palmers, and Jack wasn't really a let me reach out to the common golfer type of guy. He's
Yeah.
never been that. No. But your Palmers, your Mr. Players, your Lee Trevinos that had that personality that, you know, went on Johnny Carson and joked and laughed and brought people to the game. Those, at that point in time, the PGA Tour had to have those individuals.
Yep. John Daly.
John Daly.
He was a draw.
He was a niche.
Yeah.
A niche.
Yep.
Now, will he be on Mount Rushmore? No.
Nope.
No. No way even close. But Tiger was after the Palmer, the Nicklaus, the Players, the Hogans, the Bobby Jones, whatever, Francis Ouimet, whoever you want to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Tiger was that individual. Now we're going to discuss in 5 years, is Rory going to be there?
Only time will tell.
That's right.
Yep.
Agreed. Boy, this thing turned out to be a round table.
Heck yeah.
But again, we're coming up for Player of the Year. Who's the biggest story of the year in the game of golf? We do this every year. We did it last year. So I want you guys to start giving that some thought, because we're going to do our shows coming up in the coming weeks. Next week, we'll wrap up everything that's been happening in Dubai and the women down in Naples
Right.
and all that. And then we're gonna see a lull until 1st of January when, you know, the PGA Tour returns to Hawaii. And, of course, they do the Hyundai, and then they do the Sony. And, you know, we always enjoy those events because it's
definitely.
kind of getting back into the season.
Yep.
But, I mean, right now, this is an interesting year. It's been an interesting year. What's the biggest storyline for the year in the game of golf? I mean, is it the Ryder Cup? Is it Phil Mickelson's press conference? Is it Tiger trying to come back? And then is it Rory winning 2 majors back to back with the WGC wedged in the middle of it?
I think there's a bigger story than that. It has nothing to do.
I'm just throwing out the
Has
possibilities.
nothing to
dude.
do with playing in general.
And what's that?
The tour's cover up.
Ah, good.
I think that's the biggest story this year.
Good. I like that.
And as much as I hate to say it, and you know, and I do like the guy that's involved. It's a local boy from here, but I mean, this whole cover up is the biggest story of the year.
And I was just getting ready to go there. So let's use this. I'm putting out a tickler. We'll start next week, and we're going to start talking about what was the biggest story of the year. And
right.
we'll go in. I'm not asking each of you as panelists here to come up with your story of the year.
Right.
But just make some notes, come up
Sure.
with those maybe top 5 stories of the year.
Well, I
And
should
then
be
we'll
done with
debate 'em.
chapter 2 on Hooked on Phonics, so I should be okay.
I guarantee at least
so
one of my
crazy,
words
dude.
won't be spelled right, but I'll have something on paper.
It'll be in a Sharpie.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
No doubt about it.
Black.
Also, too, if you're paying attention this evening at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, folks, on the Golf Channel, they'll be showing the Australian Masters, the Bet Easy Masters from Melbourne. at the Metropolitan Golf Club. Right now, Adam Scott's at +1 in that event, and they had several guys go at 6 under, 5 under, 4 under, so a lot going on there. The Metropolitan Golf Club is a phenomenal golf course, guys. Old school. It's just a lot of fun to watch and see the guys go down there and play. Adam Scott is going as a third-year repeat down at the Australian Masters. So hopefully he can get it in tune. Again, he's trying out another caddy. So we'll see how this all works out. Of course, Steve Scott has left, and he's now searching.
Scott.
Or, I'm sorry, dear. Steve Williams. I'm sorry. Steve Scott. Wow. Adam Scott, Steve Williams. I got it. I'm good. Thanks. Appreciate the correction. Autocorrect.
He's on top of it.
Autocorrect. Spell check.
There you go.
So
HR3.
HR3.
That's right.
Right there at the tip of the knowledge world. Right there.
Yeah, boy.
So, that's what you could probably do. You could give up teaching and go caddy for Adam. How about that?
I ain't caddying for nobody.
That's what I thought.
Ain't caddying for nobody. That's right. That's kind of like trying to get a race car driver to work in as a crew chief.
Crew chief.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna do it.
He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna change tires.
No, he ain't gonna do it.
He ain't gonna do it.
No.
TGD Radio and TGD TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, navigate over to our featured course pages, where you'll find very much up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much, much more. Need help with your next golf vacation? Just give Dave a call. Just call Dave at 844-GO-GOLF-1. That's 844-464-6531. All of our TGD programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on any show that you may have missed, click on the TGD Radio and TGD TV tabs in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. For Al Cloyd, Hugh Roy III, I'm George Honeycutt, and we want to thank our producers for bringing you TGD Today here at thegolfdirector.com. We thank you for tuning in, and there's more TGD golf news and information coming up next.